Have any other episodes planned? They're kind of different or high concept like we've done in the past.
I don't think that one's different enough.
That's different, but outside of that, I usually do more than one a season, I feel like.
No, this is our big swing for the season, is the animation. We're pretty excited about the year. You know, we've broken, we got the first 6 scripts, 7 we just got a story on. You know, so far so good. We don't have, I mean, deliberately, we're not doing like, you know, I mean, last year was very big with the British Metal Letters and the whole sort of organizational thing and all that. And this year we made a conscious effort that we wanted to go a little smaller, more personal. So, with Mom in Apocalypse World with Lucifer and the boys having to deal with Satan's son, there's a lot of emotional possibilities, and that's kind of what we wanted to play with this year. Last year was about bringing family back together. This is what do you do when your family gets blown apart.
So speaking of family, Mary is obviously in the alt universe, and we've heard a little bit about her. What can you tell us about sort of what her day-to-day life is going to be like there, and like, are she and Lucifer, is she going to try to run away from him first thing, or what'll that be like?
She does try to run away from him first thing.
Okay.
That doesn't turn out as well as she might hope. You know, we visit there. We don't live in that universe for a whole long time. I mean, it's always there in episodes, but the majority of the time is spent in this world. Whenever we do visit there, and we meet some characters there, some that we know and new ones, it's just really not a pleasant place. And I think a little bit that's going to go a long way. So, you know, a lot of the emotional stuff about what the season is that Dean is convinced that, you know, once Mom went through that rift and with Lucifer, that was curtains for her. Sam is of the opinion, we got this kid, he opened the rift once, let's go see for ourselves. If she's alive, let's try to save her. That causes a certain headbutting amongst the two guys, and that's part of this idea of the family being torn apart, is that they have sort of different takes on it. Dean gets a little dark about that.
Can you talk about Jack in the hunter world? Is that something that he'll play a role in, or possibly become a hunter?
In the beginning, without getting too specific, he doesn't have much control over his powers. I guess he's a little bit like the Hulk in that regard. You know, he can do things, but he does them involuntarily. Part of him, because he's half human, doesn't want to hurt people. He knows what he has this thumb drive that his mother left him, talking about that he can be what he wants to be. And he has this angel looking over him, so he's aware of all this, but he can't control himself totally. So it's really about how do you get that balance. He's interested in the hunter world, but he has a couple of missteps early on. And again, what Dean feels about him in the beginning of the year, as opposed to what Sam wants to do with him, they're really, really worlds apart. And so there's a lot of conflict between the guys there, and this kid is kind of caught in the middle. But good drama is conflict, so that's what we try to do every year.
Having been on the show, as long as the guys, obviously, what do you think has changed the most for Sam and Dean, specifically in what you mentioned about that their family, everyone they love has been killed? In the past, they used to just stick together and sort of accept that was their life, but now it sounds like they're not accepting that, that they actually have a safety net that they want to have, as opposed to only wanting each other.
Well, I think it's like Obamacare. People were against it, but once they got it, they're saying, "Well, maybe, now you want to take that away?" So I never thought of this, put your question in political terms, but I think that's really close.
I see the metaphor.
So they had this thing, Mom, a relationship with their mother, which they never had, and then that gets taken away. It's really kind of a devastating blow. How one reacts to that. is what makes people different. I think you've seen where a family member will die, and some people show their emotion, or they're trying to get their stuff out, where people become withdrawn and don't deal with it. They don't deal with their own emotions. I think that latter one is a little more where Dean is at, and kind of gets darker as the first few episodes go on. He begins to doubt, what the hell, what is this all about? What am I doing?
It was in that.
Cass. Go
ahead.
I think we all wanted to know as well, like how that would tie to Cass as a family member, like their loss of him.
Absolutely,
as well.
that's part of it. I mean, the whole,
The reaction.
even to a certain extent, Crowley's gone.
Yeah.
Even though that he was, a frenemy, but he basically gave himself up
That's
for them.
complicated for them, right?
Yeah. So all that sort of happening. By the way, within the last 5 minutes of that episode, it's pretty devastating. And it leaves them in a really strange place. And if they just had to deal with it alone, so be it. But now they all got this kid, this man-child they have to deal with. So it's a lot of complication. I mean, we did that intentionally, but again, it's much more about, excuse me, it's a season based on emotion, not on big stuff.
Can you tease Missouri's return? Does it have to do with the Wayward Sisters episode?
Missouri is the grandmother of Patience, who will be the third girl in that. And this young woman reluctantly has actually passed down through generations her psychic skills. Her father wants her to deny those and not get into this world. Circumstances dictate that she has to, and that's how she ends up at Jody's.
Are we seeing Missouri early in the season or
We're
later?
seeing her in episode 3.
That is awesome.
So the bunker doesn't feel very safe now. I mean, literally everyone can get into this bunker. They're not like going to put Jack in the bunker and then just go away and like hope that he's
Well, no, because they can ward it. And, yeah, I mean, you hit on an interesting point. We have these internal discussions sometimes, and sometimes the writers will come in and say, so-and-so shows up at the bunker, and I say, what is this, Grand Central Station now?
So you're aware of it.
Yeah, anybody can come in. So we're cognizant of your point in trying to deal with that. But we always tried to make her, like when Mr. Ketch showed up, right? It's all the mental letters have a key to every mental letters facility. But we're going back with some warding, and they do leave him alone at a certain point, and he trashes the place. No.
Okay.